I'm Sam here at Rick Jen's Pianos with a piano I very much enjoyed playing. That was really fun to play. This is a Yamaha full-size upright built in Hamamatsu, Japan in 1982. Full-size meaning 52 inches or 132 centimeters if you prefer. It is the same size as the Model U3 and it has a lot in common with it, but it is a different model and it's part of a different series, the W series. Specifically, this is a W102, 102 referring just to the particular furniture design of this piano. They gave different numbers depending on whether it had a Scandinavian design furniture or more traditional or contemporary. This one has the Scandinavian design, in my opinion. Very elegant, simple lines, lots of square corners, like you'll see in Scandinavian furniture. This particular one I believe is walnut, but we have gotten a lot of these in teak too, which is common in Scandinavian furniture. It's a good match, in my opinion, for some contemporary furniture, especially like mid-century modern. The wood tone fits in well with that, but it has a more modern appearance. It's an attractive piano, I like it. It's not 100% perfect, but we've touched up what we can. Really, the value in this piano, in my opinion, is just the musical quality is really fun to play. With a crisp tone that's not too bright, I don't think, and also a touch that's definitely not hard at all. I should say if you've been instructed by a teacher or whoever to purchase a piano with a firm touch, this is not your piano. We have other pianos in their inventory that will rate a 6 or a 7 on a scale from 1 to 10 for touch. More likely they're going to be Kawai or Boston or Steinway pianos, 3 brands of piano which, in my opinion, tend to have a firm touch. Yamahas are not known for that, and if that is why you like Yamahas, I think you'll be really delighted with this piano. It has a distinctly light touch, feels really fast and smooth, but it's still very subtle and controllable when you play softly. And that's one of my favorite things about Yamaha pianos, both grands and uprights. In my opinion, whatever they do to the design of their actions, so the action is the whole hammer mechanism, all the little wooden levers, like a wooden engine, connecting the key to the hammer and allowing the hammer to strike the string and remove itself from the string so the string can vibrate freely. That's why the mechanism is so complicated. Whatever Yamaha did to tweak the mechanism to make it perform better, in my opinion, they did an excellent job, and they outdid a lot of other upright piano manufacturers, other than Kawai, which I would say is their equal, also from Japan. Whatever they do, it makes it super responsive, and the keys kind of remain in contact with your finger more, which is more information for the pianist, and they also reset a little sooner than a lot of upright pianos to a ready position, so the hammer is ready to strike the string again sooner. It's not going to be as good as a grand. That's simply the limitation of the upright piano action, with the hammer going sideways unassisted by gravity versus a grand where gravity can assist. But on a lot of upright pianos, you got to lift that key almost entirely up to its rest position for it to reset, and it's just a lot harder to make that piano play well when you're playing it. It just doesn't cooperate as much. Yamahas are not like that. They're much more responsive in that regard, and I think that's why teachers are so eager to recommend these pianos for their students, especially beginner to intermediate, and well, even advanced for this piano. I mean, if you don't have room for a grand piano, but you wish you could have the closest thing to it in upright pianos, this is what you're looking at. This is the closest thing in our inventory, I believe, to a grand piano amongst the upright pianos. With the full-size 52-inch, larger soundboard, longer strings, and just this really responsive keyboard, really a pleasure to play. I did not feel at all hindered or prevented by the piano from experimenting musically with the pieces I played. In case you want to know, it's Scarlatti The first piece was by Domenico Scarlatti, K113 Sonata, and the second piece was Spanish Dance No. 5 by Granados. So I was feeling very Spanish today. Both pieces which are very exciting and which I thought would work very well on this piano, and the piano really helped me. I can't say I've practiced those pieces as much as I should recently, but when you have a piano that's cooperative and doesn't get in your way, it really helps you play better and just express yourself musically the way you want to. This piano is a perfect example of that. If I didn't already have an upright piano at home, I wouldn't mind having this. That's how much I like it. What was I going to say? Oh, the tone. As I said, it's clear and crisp. I don't want to call it bright. It just has a refinement and smoothness that prevents me from calling it a 6 on a scale from 1 to 10, which I know for people who are used to Steinways or Kawais, a 6 tone in our inventory can sound a little harsh. Steinway and Kawai both being known for a warmer, mellow sound. This one, it sounds warm if you play it softly. It doesn't sound bright to me, it just sounds neutral. So I'll call it a 5 on the scale from 1 to 10. Touch, as I said, is distinctly light. I'll call it a 3 or a 4. Probably why I like playing it so much. I grew up with a Yamaha, grew up with a light touch Yamaha, still have a light touch piano at home, and it's very agreeable for me. So again, if you're looking for a firm touch piano, this is not going to be it. I suggest you look at our Kawais in their inventory, or just anything else with a touch of 6. But if that's not a requirement for you, I think you'll be really delighted with this piano, as I have been. And a final note, 2 final notes. This W series, which was an upgraded series over the U series, one of the upgrades in this case was in the cabinetry here. This has a grand piano style music desk, which is more elevated, and it's a solid board of wood here with a ledge. On an upright piano, most of the Yamahas we get in, the music desk is mounted to the fall board, kind of right underneath the decal. The fall board's shaped differently than this, but it folds back and you put your music on it and it will kind of flop around. It's not as big. It gets the job done somewhat awkwardly sometimes, but for those pianists who are really more advanced and need, especially teachers, if you are a teacher and you want an upright piano for your teaching studio and you've got a whole bunch of sheet music, this will much better hold all that music at once, plus you got a little extra space for a metronome, pencils, whatever, a statue of Beethoven. And then conveniently behind it, there are sound vents. There's a mesh behind here that prevent dust from going in, or objects, but if you can have it closed when you're moving the piano or just not using it. If you have piano movers, move the piano. Please don't move the piano yourself. The movers will have it closed when they move it. But if you're playing it at home, you can open it and it allows a little bit more sound to come out the front, especially if you have the lid closed, which it's an option. It's a shelf I couldn't resist. I have all sorts of stuff on my upright piano. So this allows more sound to come out to get a more intense musical experience. But if it's too intense, you can always use the middle pedal. Just press it down, move it to the left. It's the practice mute, so it puts the felt between the hammers and the strings, so you can play very quietly at night without disturbing anyone. So really practical, functional, versatile piano, and I think a good looking piece of furniture too. I encourage you to come see it for yourself, play it along with anything else in their inventory. But if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email with any questions. Thanks.